reaction to this video. The video was a precipitating cause to the unrest, specifically in Libya. Might take advantage of a situation that was brought about initially as a response to the video in question.
Natural protests that arose because of the outrage over the video.
You're totally correct that they spent 2 weeks telling us this was about a tape and that there was this riot outside the Benghazi consulate, which there wasn't.
Natural protests that arose because of the outrage over the video.
I was in chronic pain, and my family struggling to make ends meet, food and gas prices going up, even keeping my job was iffy. Then I learned about a new miracle drug made in Washington, D.C., Spenditol. Spenditol is Washington's answer to all the painful problems Americans face. How to borrow $800 billion for a stimulus that didn't create jobs or fix the economy? Spenditol.
Spenditol is not for everyone. Side effects may include a mountain of government debt piled on our kids, a sudden loss of freedoms, higher prices for everything, leaving our kids a lesser America than we had. Ask your doctor or congressman if your conscience is strong enough for Spenditol.
And it's so popular in Washington, we have to import trillions more of it from China. Spenditol makes you feel better now and pushes off the really bad stuff till later, for them to deal with.
Call the White House and Congress. Tell them, stop spending it all.
Feeling lonely this holiday season? Looking for little human interaction? Do you want to feel contact in certain special places?
Then why not go through security at an airport?
The TSA.
TSA agents are ready and standing by to give you a little something extra to feel thankful about this holiday season.
TSA.
What are you waiting for? I want to check under your testicles.
Spending time with a TSA agent couldn't be easier. Simply book a flight departing from any American airport. When selected for a full body scanner, say no. You'll be pulled aside by a TSA agent, and that's when the fun begins. And you never know who your agent will be. It could be me. Or me. Or even me.
But it's probably gonna be us. Take off your damn shoes.
The TSA. It's our business to touch yours.
Welcome to the Bureau of Womanhood Conformity. Independent thoughts are considered subversive because all must agree with our leader.
When it comes to women, preventative care should include coverage of contraceptive services such as birth control.
You see, if you don't believe government should pay for your birth control, you're not a real woman. Womanhood denied. If you refuse to accept that pregnancy is a punishment, you're denied as well.
I don't want them punished with a baby.
If you don't believe that abortions should be allowed for any reason, if you don't believe in aborting a child for being the wrong gender, and if you don't believe that stay-at-home mothers aren't real workers, you are not a real conformed woman.
His wife has actually never worked a day in her life. His wife has actually never worked a day in her life.
Finally, for your safety, if you oppose mandatory government health care, you will die.
They will be voting to say that women can die on the floor.
These standards and regulations were formed after our glorious victory in the war on women. Thank you for your cooperation and your conformity.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. We leave no warrior behind. Wounded Warrior Project is a non-profit organization created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war. Whether those scars are physical or mental, we're here to make sure that they heal. And whether it's helping those with post-traumatic stress disorder live a normal life again, or giving much-needed support to injured warriors in veterans' hospitals, Because no one deserves our help more than the men and women who risk their lives to keep us safe. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
You're listening to The Rod Eccles Show.
And we are back. You are listening to none other than me, your lovable host, El Rod, here on The Rod Eccles Show. Yes, I am the one, the only. There will never be any more after me. None before me, none after me. So that makes me the one and only. Something like that. I remember that was a Les Brown tagline that he used to do when he was a DJ. Go figure. Here's a man who's now one of the most foremost self-help motivational gurus of all time, Les Brown, and he started out as a radio DJ, I think in Detroit, Michigan, or somewhere around one of the big poor cities. And I got a story here on Detroit. Speaking of Detroit, we've got. Where is that? I had troubles with there we go. A state senator proposes dissolving city of Detroit. I kid you not. This is a CBS Detroit 62, cbs.cbslocal.com. It's a Detroit 62 story that a state senator in the state of Michigan is looking to have the they want to get rid of Detroit one way or another. I don't blame them, but it would no doubt be controversial. Lansing, Michigan, Dateline, Lansing, Michigan. It would no doubt be controversial, but the idea of dissolving the fiscally struggling, not physically, physically. There are many parts of the city of Detroit that is struggling too. In fact, there has been a number of discussions on how to shrink the city of Detroit, including forcing residents through eminent domain to trade houses. Yeah, you probably heard the story that they wanted to bulldoze entire neighborhoods and people living in those outlying neighborhoods. They wanted to bring them closer to the center of the city so they could shrink the city of Detroit. Well, that'd be, you would think that environmentalists would be all for this. Reduce man's footprint. Reduce the city. Let the outlying parts of the city go back to the wild, natural Michigan landscape, right? I haven't heard any environmentalists get on board for this. And why is that? Because environmentalists tend to be liberal wackos, and Detroit is a liberal bastion. Well, this is what you get for having a liberal bastion. But it would be no doubt be controversial. But the idea of dissolving the physically struggling city of Detroit and absorbing it into Wayne County is being tossed around in Lansing. Now, Lansing is the capital of Michigan. For those of you in Rush Limbaugh's Rio Linda. I thought it was Detroit, Motown, Motor City. No. Lansing. Lansing Bureau Chief Tim Skubik reports some state Republicans are talking about giving the city the option to vote itself into bankruptcy. And Mid-Michigan Senator Rick Jones said all options should be considered, including dissolving the city. If we have to, that is one idea we have to look at. We really have to look at everything that is on the table, Jones said. Again, if this goes to federal bankruptcy, every employee down there will suffer. The city will suffer, and the vultures will come in and take the jewels of Detroit, and they will be gone. Now, local consultant Tom Watkins has proposed this in the past, but the idea has never played well among Detroiters. In a live interview, well, how would you like, you live in the former great city of Detroit, and then all of a sudden you're nothing but, I don't know, a village or something? You know, you're no longer incorporated and you're part of the Wayne County. You're in the Detroit section of Wayne County. Yeah. But there you go. So that's what's that's what's happening in Detroit. For you know, for those people who, well, Detroit is just Detroit. It was run into the ground, plain and simple. It was run into the ground by liberals. It's the truth. It was run into the ground by liberals, and it's well, you know, that's the way it goes. And I know there are liberals out there that don't like me saying that, but you know what? I know I piss liberals off, but too bad. Get used to it because I ain't going anywhere. You know, it is, but it's, you know, it's just one of those things, one of those issues. But yes, so you have a state senator who's proposing that they dissolve the city of Detroit. Now, this is a follow-up to a story that I brought you, or part of one of my rants. And yes, I have many rants, and I am proud of my rants because most of my rants, all of my rants, are factual and dead accurate. And however, I have to give an update on a rant from yesterday. And it was about children being the targets of adults for sex, child molestation. And I said that boys were, you know, there are statistics that are showing that boys, under the age of 18, boys, males, were 3 times more likely to be the subject of sexual abuse than girls. And I also said that, which is true, although I think that number might be, that spread might be a little bit larger than that, but I think the stats show it's about a 3-to-1 spread. It could be 4-to-1 or 5-to-1, but it's at least a 3-to-1 spread that boys are sexually abused. And I don't care if you're a 16-year-old boy and if your 28-year-old school teacher beds you down, that is sexual abuse. You know, the 16-year-old boy may not think so, but it is. And so that's counted. But I said that most of the stuff, except for straight women on straight boys, women don't tend to, straight women do, but lesbian women don't seem to be affecting, at least we're not hearing about it. Lesbian women, what's the word? Diddling? I guess you wouldn't say diddling a girl, but lesbian women don't diddle little girls, right? Well, lo and behold, somebody must have been listening because they went out and found a story. And this is from the Daily Mail UK, the Daily Mail online. A newlywed couple drove across state lines, and this is a British paper, a British publication, and I haven't seen it. I haven't fully Googled and researched it, but I have not seen it in any major U.S. publication. But somebody in England is listening to this show because they went out and found this story just for me. No, they didn't say it was just for me, but I'm telling you, it was just for me because of what I said yesterday on yesterday's show. A newlywed couple drove across state lines to pick up a girl, 17, that they met online so that the wife could have sex with her. Now, I wish I could make this stuff up, folks. I wish I made this stuff up. I really do, because we can kind of laugh at it, but it is sad. I mean, it is absolutely, utter, despicably sad. A routine traffic stop landed a Tennessee couple behind bars yesterday, for allegedly trying to have sex with a 17-year-old girl. Now, police pulled over Michael McCarroll, McCarrell, 46, in Nashville, Tennessee, for failing to use